Hi, this is Katie McKnight for K-12 Teachers Alliance, and the subject of this podcast is about educational technology and what it means for the 21st century classroom and also integration of Common Core state standards. So oftentimes when I talk to teachers about educational technology, I talk about the fact that I use the metaphor that we're tending to drive around in a Fred Flintstone car, and our kids are driving around in the Toyota Prius. And the kids look at us and they think to themselves, why are the teachers driving around in the Fred Flintstone car when they could be driving around in the Prius? So we need to start looking at the tools that our kids use in their everyday life and how we can use those tools for effective teaching and learning opportunities. And the bottom line is that this is the kids' world. This is how we find information, use information. So I often say to teachers when I work in schools is that the way that we think about text, the way that we create text, the way that we learn from text, and the way that we create text has completely changed because of technology. So I was in that last generation that actually pounded out papers on an electric typewriter. So I'm not what some would call a digital native. I'm a digital immigrant. And so I need to learn the technology just as many of you who are listening to this podcast would as well. So here's my suggestion, is that each month you take a technology that you think might be useful in your classroom. So be it something like Edmodo or Animoto or Moodle or something like Glogster or even Twitter. I've seen Twitter used in classrooms or Google Docs. And take that technology and really tinker with it. Good teachers are always tinkering, and technology is one of those things that we need to tinker with in order to feel comfortable with the technology and use it in the classroom. So here's some of the things that I've been seeing in classrooms with technology. Just last week, I was in a classroom in Chicago where the kids were using Google Docs. There were 20 kids in the class, and they were set up in teams using laptops, and the Google Doc was projected on a screen with an LCD projector. And I'm watching as the kids are discussing short stories and ideas that have come from those short stories, all on Google Docs. And the teacher is there as well on the Google Doc and responding to what the kids are saying and what they're posting in this Google Doc. And what was really interesting about it was a couple of things. First of all, every kid could participate in the conversation at the same time. That was the first thing. So the idea of democratizing our classroom and classroom discussion has a different kind of manifestation with that kind of technology. Number two is that the teacher and I, after we talked about the fact that he could actually watch everything that was going on and participate in all the kids' conversations. And third, there was a written transcript of the kids' discussion that they used later on when they were creating papers and projects and were able to go back to what they had discussed originally about the stories and how their thinking had changed. So that's one example of how technology can be very powerful in the classroom and also allow for differentiation, because all kids can participate in meaningful ways in those kinds of discussions.